is going to be a documentary based on the campaign to get a new skate park in Bridgwater. The campaign's been going on for years and years and years, well over 25 years. And we've so far been given 2 little ones, which are basically not much use to us anymore. There's not enough space, the obstacles are starting to deform, they're too small, people are constantly colliding into one another. They're just not up to standards, really. We've been promised a new park, a permanent skate park, for a while now.
Check 1 2 1 2. Nice and easy, cool and breather. Weed your gears. Check it out, follow the
Just like the look of it and learning new stuff. Keeping off the streets, keeping fit.
What obstacles would you like to ride at a new skate park?
At least like a 9-foot bowl, 9 foot going into like 6 foot, like tauntons, and ledges around about at least 3 foot high or higher. About 3 foot high rail and maybe a bigger one, and some like manual pads, wedges, stuff like that.
Where would you want the park to be located?
Town centre, near around about there, so it's local to pretty much the whole town. Or anywhere really, it's just better than nothing.
Why do you think it's important for a town to have a nice skate park?
I think it'll help extreme sports, because they'll look at it and think they'd give it a go and they'd probably carry on doing it. And then there'll be less people on the town smashing bottles, graffitiing, drinking, and it'd just be better for the town really, and it would get people to come into the town.
What motivates you to ride a BMX bike?
Something to do and good street, just fun, and riding skate parks, riding with your mates, chilling out, keeping off the streets, and not graffitiing and stuff like that.
And, a little bit annoyed actually, because they pulled out within 5 minutes of us talking to them, and you know, they weren't willing to negotiate any of the rules in the skate park. They weren't willing to listen to me and Jack, who came to the meeting specifically at the YMCA to talk to them. And a representative of their chairman just said, look, we've pulled out our offer. If you really can't find anywhere else, you can come back to us as long as you adhere to the rules. And they gave their excuses pretty much to drop out, as it was a political thing. They didn't want it getting political between the Tories and the Labour, which is obviously a council type of thing to get involved in. But you know, a bit annoyed by that really, a bit annoyed by the outcome of that, and it's just pretty poor on their behalf, I think, pretty poor on their showing, you know, so yeah, we'll have to see what happens.
Just got into it through mates because there's nothing else to do around here, so literally like the last option. All there is to do really.
What do you make of the council's efforts so far in getting a new skate park?
They've been alright, like in all fairness, giving us the 2 little parks while we're waiting was a good idea, but they are taking the piss really. Like, they've had land which has been agreed to have a park on, and this has been sold to housing developers rather than actually used. And they could have done a lot more really than what they have done. They're just stalling and not giving us like proper answers.
If Bridgwater were to get a new big park, would you want it made out of concrete, metal or wood?
Well, definitely not metal, because it's always too slidey no matter what. Wood gets all slidey as well, and concrete's just all round best. Like, it dries up quicker, the heat doesn't affect it, whereas with metal it can like burn your skin if it gets too hot, and the sun shining on the wood makes it even slidier and harder to use, so definitely concrete.
If Bridgwater was to get a new skate park, what sort of obstacles would you want to skate there?
Big ramps, bigger ledges, bigger stair sets, everything bigger really, more spread out so we can fit more people, and it's just way too overcrowded at the moment.
Were this skate park to be built this year, where would you want it to be built?
Anywhere really, none of us are bothered, like literally anywhere's the quickest place really, as long as it's not at YM, and we have to like listen to their rules and stuff.
With the YMCA mentioned there, what did you make of their decision to pull out of the development plans?
Well, the designs they gave us were alright, to be fair, but the rules were just bullshit. Like, they can't just arrange it all without our input. They can't just like decide these things. It's our decision, it's our money, it's our park that we're going to use. They can't just decide it just because it's on their land.
Why do I want a skate park? Why am I campaigning for a skate park? Because it's what the people have been campaigning for, what they've identified that they want over the last numerous years, and the crucial thing is they've been waiting too long for it. It's something that's an active sport, it's an energy sport, and it's the kind of thing that we need in this town to deliver to the people that have asked for something, and why shouldn't they have it after all these years? We have about £130,000 in it. That's 110 from the RLT fund and 20,000 from the town council. Town council is straight from ratepayers' money in the town, and the RLT money is money from the developers that have set aside money in lieu of land that they've taken up, which could be used for play areas. So that's in the general Sedgemoor pot. Okay, so the next steps in this process is to identify the land. Some of the land we've been looking at has been is council-owned land, some of the parks, and some of the land is private land, or land such as the YMCA, for instance, who have suggested there could be ways we could use their bits of land. The next step is for the skate park campaign, along with the councillors and so on, to identify what criteria they'd need for using that land, what restrictions they'd want, what they'd want out of it, and importantly to involve the skaters themselves and BMXers in the design of the park. I think we're the closest we've ever been to getting a skate park, because the money's in place. The town and the district council supports the need for this. The crucial issue is the land. What we need to do now is to work together to identify that land, and I'm sure then the money on the land will drop in together and we'll get a skate park.